Good morning students. I am Ms. Mohana Sundari, Department of Chemistry. In this video we are going to discuss chapter 3, matter. Let us recap. What is matter? Anything that occupies space and has mass is called matter. For example, gold, silver, sugar, water, tree, air. These are all examples for matter. The main two characteristics of matter is it should occupy space and it should have mass. So nature of matter. Nature of matter means the matter is made up of small particles, that is atoms. The smallest unit of matter is atom. These atoms, that is two or more atoms, are combined together to form molecules. So molecules may be same kind of matter or different kind of matter. So anything, these atoms or molecules, they are together to form a matter. They are combined to give a particular matter. So there is some characteristics of matter. The first one is the particles are in random motion. So you can take any matter, the particles present in that matter should be in random motion, and interparticle space, that is the particles of matter have space in between them, that is called as interparticle space. So there should be space between each particle. And the third one is interparticle force, that is cohesion, adhesion. The cohesion is anything, the force of attraction between the particles of same substance is called cohesion. So the attraction between two particles is called interparticle force, that is an attractive force. And the last one, states of matter. There will be a three states: solid, liquid, gas. So these three states of matter we are going to discuss now. So in this video the main learning objectives are why solids, liquids and gases have different properties, why they are classified into solid, liquid, gases. So there will be some changes in their properties so that we are classified into solids, liquids and gases. And effect of heat on matter. If you are applying heat or decreasing the heat in a particular matter, there will be some changes in that. So the first change is interconversion of states of matter. So in that matter there will be changing in states, that means interconversion of states. For example, you can take a solid. Solid is changing into liquid and liquid is changing into gas, and the gas is again changing into liquid and liquid is again changing into solid. So this is called interconversion of states in matter. So in some cases solid directly changes into gas without changing into liquid. So we are going to discuss about this briefly. And the second one is expansion in matter. In a matter, if you are taking a solid or liquid or gas, anything, there will be some expansion when we are applying heat into that. And the last one is chemical changes. Chemical changes will be occur. Chemical changes means permanent changes will be occur in a particular matter. Why solids, liquids and gases have different properties? So based on main these 3 points, you are classifying into solid, liquids and gases. The first one, the spaces between the particles. So we already know the particles are together to form a particle. They are combined together to form a matter. So the spaces between the particles is the first thing to differentiate each matter. So first one is spaces and second one is force of attraction between particles. So we already know there is a force of attraction. That force of attraction is the only reason to hold the particles together. So the force of attraction will be differ from each matter. So this is second one. And the third one is amount of movement of particles. So the particles present in a matter, they are moving, they are in random motion. So that also differ from each matter. So these three main points are used to differentiate the properties of solid, liquids and gases. First point, the force of attraction between particles. You can take a solid. In solid, the force of attraction is strong because the particles present in the solid have least space in between them. So there will be strong force of attraction. So they are arranged in regular manner with the limited space, that is very least space, so there will be strong force of attraction. In liquid there is less strong. Comparing to solids, there will be less in liquids, but also it will be a higher attraction, not a strongest, it will be some higher attraction. In gases it is very negligible, very lowest attraction. And why means there will be maximum space between each particle, so the attraction is very low. And the second one, the spaces or distance between the particles. So you can see in that picture, the between each particles there is very minimum space. In solid, very least space. In liquid there will be slight more little space, and in gas it is very maximum space. So the space is minimum in solids, little more in liquids, and the very maximum in gases. And the third one, amount of movement of particles. The movement of particles is minimum in solids, more in liquids, and the maximum in gases. The movement, the particles present in matter has some motion, that is has some movement, that will be minimum in solids, very less, and more in liquids. Comparing to solid, it will be more in liquids, and in gases it is very maximum, because the space between the particles in gas are high, so it can move here and there. And in liquid it will be medium, so it can move randomly. But in solid it is fixed in particular position, so they just vibrate, they are not able to move here and there, they just vibrate in its place itself. Now see one by one. First one, solids. The particles are closely packed. You can take one example. You are taking a box, metal box, means that in metal box the particles present in that are closely packed. There is a strong force of attraction which holds them together in fixed positions. It has a rigid shape. It has a position. It occupies some space in the table. So this is because why means a strong force of attraction are held together in a fixed position. So the particles are attracted very strong, so they are in fixed positions. Due to this reason, solids are fixed shape. In this image you can see the particles are just vibrating in their fixed place itself. They are not moving here and there. And the next, a solid has a fixed volume because the spaces between its particles are fixed. So the volume means amount of space that particular object occupying is known as a volume. So the solid occupies space, it has a fixed volume. So this is why means the space between the particles are also fixed. So everything is fixed, so the volume also fixed in a solid. It cannot be compressed much because already the closely packed. Solids are closely packed matter, so we cannot compress it too much. Solids does not flow like a liquid. They are held very strongly and unable to leave their fixed positions. We are fixed in a particular position. Each particles are fixed in their respective positions, so we cannot move here and there. That means the particles cannot move here and there. They does not flow like a liquid because they are in fixed positions, and also they are strongly attached to each other, strongly combined with each particles. And the next one, liquids. It does not have a fixed shape. The first point itself, it does not have a fixed shape because the position of its particles are not fixed. In solids the particles are fixed in a respective position, but in liquid they are not fixed in a respective position due to less strong force of attraction. The forces of attraction is less when comparing to the solids. So the particles randomly move here and there, so they occupy the shape of the container. They take the shape of the container and they can slide over each other. They can slide over one another due to weak interparticle force, that is weak force of attraction. And the next, liquid has a fixed volume. They does not have a fixed shape, but they have the fixed volume because the particles are fixed. They are not closely packed, but they are also fixed in a random manner. So they have fixed volume. You can take a 1 liter bottle. You are pouring water into that bottle. That bottle should contain only 1 liter. It will have only 1 liter, that is volume. 1 liter is the capability of that water bottle, and we are pouring 1 liter of water, means that 1 liter is the fixed volume. That 1 liter water is occupying the space because due to the liquid particles are fixed in a random motion. And the next, liquids cannot be compressed much. Liquids has comparatively high density. Why we cannot compress much? Comparing to solid, everything is less in this liquid. That means space between each particle is slightly more, and force of attraction is less when comparing to solids. But this is moreover equal to solids, so that we cannot compress much because the particles are still quite close together, and the liquid has comparatively high density. Same as a solid, it also has density, so comparatively it will be high density when we will be comparing it to solid or gas. It also have density. Next one, gases. Gases does not have a fixed shape because the position of its particles are not fixed. The same like a liquid does not have fixed shape, the position of a particles are not fixed. It does not have a fixed volume because the spaces between its particles are not fixed. The spaces between the particles are not fixed, so it does not have a fixed volume, but we can compress it easily and we can arrange it close. So in this picture you can see the compression of gas. Gas particles are pushed together in the bottom, so we can easily compress because of lots of space is present between each particles of gas. Since the particles of gas are free to move anywhere, it takes the shape and volume of the container. The same, you are taking a cylinder and you are filling some certain gas in that cylinder. It takes the shape and also it occupies the full space of the container, that cylinder, so it has shape and also it has volume. Particles of gas are moving with high speeds in all directions, so you can see that gases are moving here and there at high speed, and also they can flow very easily because they are not in fixed positions, they can move all directions. So not like liquid, gases can flow very easily. And the next topic, effect of heat on matter. Due to some effects, there will be changes in the states of matter. The first one is interconversion of states of matter, expansion in matter, chemical changes. So solid, liquid, gas, these three types of matter can change themselves or by external force. There will be change due to the heat. So now we are going to see interconversion of states of matter. First one, by increasing temperature, a solid can be converted into liquid state. Liquid can be converted into gaseous state. Now we are taking particular matter, that is you can take solid. By increasing the temperature, you are giving heat to that solid is converted into liquid. After that, a liquid is converted into gas. In other hand, you are decreasing the temperature, you are reducing the heat. The gas can be converted into liquid and the liquid can be converted into solid. So this process, by increasing and decreasing temperature process, is called interconversion of states of matter. So by increasing the temperature or decreasing the temperature, there will be interconversion in that states, solid, liquid, gas, there will be interconversion. So this is done because of heat, the effect of heat. So in interconversion of states of matter, the first change is melting. So the process in which solid substance is changing into liquid is called heating. It's called melting. The process in which solid substance changes into liquid on heating is called melting. While giving heat to a particular solid substance, it changing into liquid. That process is called melting. At which particular temperature it starts melting is called melting point of the substance. So the temperature at which a solid substance melts and changes into a liquid at given pressure is called melting point of the substance. So for example, The ice melts at temperature 0 degrees Celsius to form liquid water. So the melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius. At 0 degrees Celsius, an ice cube, that is a solid matter, changing into water, that is liquid. So that particular temperature is marked as a 0 degrees Celsius. So for water, the melting point is 0 degrees Celsius. So different substance has different types of melting points. According to the substance, the melting point will be differ. So when a solid substance is heated, the heat energy makes its particles vibrate more vigorously. So we are taking a ice cube. I am giving a heat to that. The particles which present in that ice cube starts vibrating vigorously, very speedily they are vibrating. So due to that, the force of attraction which is used to the particles held together is broken there, and they breaking into small groups. That is, the solid overcome the force of attraction which is holding together in position, and they broken into small groups of particles, that is liquid. So solid changing into liquid is called melting. And the next one is boiling. The process in which liquid changes into gas on heating is called boiling. You are taking a water and you are giving heat to that. After few minutes you can watch that vapors comes out from the water. So that is called boiling. It starts bubbling. It starts boiling. Why? We are giving heat. We are continuously giving heat. So the liquid changing into the gaseous state. So it takes place at a fixed temperature. At particular temperature it starts boiling. So the temperature at which liquid boils and changes rapidly into gas at atmospheric pressure is called boiling point of the liquid. So you already know what is melting point. Now this is boiling point, which a liquid starts boiling and changes into gas is called boiling point of the liquid. For example, when water is heated to temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, it boils rapidly to form a gas. So that at 100 degrees Celsius, only the water starts boiling. So the boiling point of water is 100 degree Celsius. So when a liquid is heated, the heat energy makes the particles present in liquid to move even faster. So at boiling point, liquids have energy to overcome the force of attraction which make them to hold together, and they separated into individual particles. That means gas. So solid overcome this energy and they are broken into small groups, that is happened in melting. In this boiling, they are separated into individual, not a group. They are separated into individual particles, so that liquid is changing into gas. Evaporation. It is a slow process. Boiling, evaporation are all same process, but the timing, that the temperature will be differ here. In boiling, the changing conversion of liquid into gas will be faster, but in evaporation it is a slow. So it is slow process that involves the change of liquid into gas state from the surface. Evaporation can take place at any temperature. It increase with increase in temperature. So while giving heat or while rapidly we are increasing means the evaporation also, the rate of evaporation also increased. So boiling and evaporation is the same process, that is liquid is converted into gas, but the timing only differ. So evaporation means at rainy season you can see the ground is wet everywhere. The soil is wet everywhere. After the sun raised at 12 noon, morning time it's rained means after the 12 o'clock when the sun arrives, the more heat from the sun starts evaporating the wet water from the soil like a water vapor, so that it will become dry. These are the examples you already know. Common salt is also observed from sea water That is also a huge scale of evaporation process. Next one, condensation. If we cool steam by lowering its temperature, it is converted into liquid water. So cool steam by lowering a temperature. Okay, while boiling, water is converted into gaseous state, that vapor will be hot. By cooling that steam, that means by cooling that hot water vapor, it is again converted into liquid. The process of changing a gas to a liquid by cooling is called condensation. By lowering temperature, the particles lose energy, that they slow down and they are moved closer together until they start being attracted to each other to form a liquid. So while in condensation process, we are decreasing the temperature so that the particles lose energy. Because of that energy only they broke down, but here they lose the energy and they are come closer and they start attracting each other so that they form as a liquid. So the gas is converted into liquid in condensation process. And the next one is freezing. When water is cooled, it changes into solid, that is ice. Water is a liquid state matter, and while reducing the heat, that while we are giving very cool temperature, it changes into solid ice. So the process of changing a liquid into solid by cooling is called freezing. Freezing is opposite of melting, that is reverse of melting. In melting, the solid is converted into liquid. In freezing, the liquid is converted into solid. So the freezing point of liquid is same as the melting point of the solid form. So the freezing and melting point will be same for a particular matter because they are reverse, they are opposite to each other. For example, the melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius, we already know. So the freezing point of water is also 0 degrees Celsius. At particular 0 degrees Celsius, it starts freezing. So when a liquid is cooled, its particles again lose their energy, they move very slowly and they get attracted each other and they vibrates in a fixed position. After it cools so much, it stops moving and they are fixed to each other in a fixed position. So it will become as a solid. So what is freezing means? Conversion of liquid into solid. And the last process is sublimation. There are few solid substances which directly change into vapor on heating. The vapor give back solid substance on cooling. There will be substances, they directly change into vapor. While we giving heat, they directly change into vapor. While we giving cooling, they from the vapor they directly changes into solid without the conversion of liquid. So that is sublimation process. The changing of solid directly into vapor on heating is known as sublimation. The solid substance which undergoes sublimation is said to be sublime. The substance which undergoes sublimation is called sublime substance. So for example, ammonium chloride, iodine, camphor, naphthalene balls, these are all example for sublime substance. When these solids are heated, the particles present in that solid move so quickly, they move rapidly so quickly, so they directly converted into vapor. In ordinary process, they are moving slowly, so they are going step by step, solid to liquid, liquid to gas. But these sublime substances move so quickly, the particles present in sublime substances move so quickly, so they are converted directly to the gas from solid state. That is also in reverse, from vapor, that's from gas, while we are cooling that vapor, they are quickly slowing down so that they become fixed to form a solid. The particles are fixing together in a particular position to form a solid. So for example, camphor, while lighting the camphor, it directly changes into gas. In naphthalene balls, that is mothballs also example for this sublime substance. So solid changing into gas and gas changing into solid is sublimation. I hope you all understand that understood this session. Thank you.